Welcome back to World War 1 with Beyond the Wire, the latest game in the Off-World Industries franchise that started with Squad with its modern day combat, then into World War 2 with Postscriptum. Beyond the Wire and Postscriptum have been developed by separate studios, but they are both developed from the OWI core engine that Squad uses, so they feel similar to each other, which on one hand is good, but on the other is bad. So Beyond the Wire promises tense action in the bloody and muddy battles of World War 1 in 50v50 player games. It features historically accurate weapons and factions with a focus on infantry combat. It also features a directional melee system similar to that of Chivalry and Mordhau. So how does it play? If you have played Squad or Postscriptum, then this game will immediately be familiar to you. How your soldier moves, sprints, jumps and aims are just like the other games from Off-World Industries. Like I said, it's a good and a bad point. If you like those other games, then you will probably like this one, and if you didn't like them, then you will probably dislike this one even more. One problem with this game is that your character feels a bit drunk when you try to aim your rifle. If you are crouched, completely still, no stamina drain, you cannot aim straight at all. Your guy has to move the rifle around a bit too much in my opinion. And if you're trying to make a bit of a push on the enemy, then your aim will be terrible when moving. A lot of realistic shooters make their games like this for realism. Now, I can't comment on how realistic this is. I haven't used a World War 1 era rifle. I've only ever used an over-under double barrel shotgun, and I can tell you my aim didn't sway as much as this when standing still. With sprinting, you have a stamina bar, just like Squad and Postscriptum, and this drains pretty quickly and leads to a very annoying breathing sound. Get used to hearing that noise if you play this game. Luckily though, the maps are nowhere near the size of Squad, so you won't have to be running for too long before you get into some action. Draining your stamina will affect your aim as well, so just make sure you manage it well and slow down when getting close to combat so you can recover your stamina. One of the unique things of Beyond the Wire when comparing it to Squad is its melee system. It uses a directional input system where you will swing based on where you are looking. If you have played Mordhau or Chivalry, then you will be familiar with this sort of system. Melee can feature quite a bit in this game due to the nature of most of the weapons being bolt action. Sometimes it may be better to rush the enemy with your melee, or instead of recycling your bolt rifle, pull out your melee and smash them. It is pretty satisfying to get melee kills in this game. Graphically, the game in my opinion is a pretty mixed bag. You can get some great looking and atmospheric scenes, but then you can also get these ugly looking scenes where it is just plain bad. The footage you are seeing was recorded on all epic settings, but with screen space reflections turned off. The performance was a mixed bag as well, but this is an early access game, so expect this to improve as the game progresses through its development. Going from how the game looks, I would say the frame rate is low when comparing it to other better looking games. I was getting usually around 70 frames. The sound effects in this game are great. The guns don't sound too bassy like in films, and when the combat is fully kicking off, when you can hear everyone firing with the artillery shells coming in, it can just feel so immersive. This game does a great job here with its sound design. I do love the artillery sounds in this. It just really makes you want to run and get some cover because of how devastating they sound. Also, you know, they will kill you with one hit. Thankfully, there are no microtransactions in this game, and I cannot find any information where the developers have mentioned them. Based on Squad and Postscriptum, I would expect no microtransactions to come into the game at any point. At the moment on Steam, there is one piece of DLC, which is the soundtrack, and I expect that there will be no paid DLC in the future. Since Off-World Industries are publishing this, I would expect any DLC to just be free. The last thing you want to do in any shooter, especially a hardcore shooter like this where the player base will be smaller than something compared to like COD or Battlefield is to split the player base apart with paid DLC. So, is this game worth playing? For me, it's a no, but let me finish. I do not like the gun gameplay from Squad, and since this has been developed using the core engine from Squad, it feels just like Squad. So if you don't like Squad at all, then I don't think you will like this game. If the only thing you dislike about Squad is the supplies and logistics system, then thankfully this game doesn't have that system and it focuses more on just the combat. If you're a big fan of Squad and Postscriptum, then yes, I think you will like this game straight away and you'll be able to get into the game easily because it's going to feel familiar to you. However, to me, this is a big negative to the game. Since it uses the Off-World Industries core engine, which Squad and Postscriptum uses, overall this game kind of feels like a mod of Squad, which, because it kind of is, because it's using the core engine of Squad. I'm not bashing what the devs have done here because I can tell they've put a lot of work into this game, but I think they should have just built something from the ground up instead of using the core engine from Squad. So, to sum it up, if you like Squad or Postscriptum, then yes, you should like this. If you don't, then you probably won't like this game. And if you've never played those games before, then it's going to depend on your love for the era. If you want to be really immersed in a World War I game, then you might like this, and I would say at least give it a go. You could always refund it, just make sure you've played less than 2 hours. So that's it for the video. If you like this mini review, then give it a like, subscribe for more videos like this, and I will see you in the next one.